The epic event that is years in the making is finally here. With the Justice League now dead, the remaining heroes are left to protect a world from an onslaught of violent attacks from some of DC's greatest villains. Thus the question is asked, will legacy heroes step out of the shadows and become more, or will darkness consume all? Ooh. DarkCrisis issue number 1 is without a doubt a love letter event to the original cast of the Justice League. Williamson does a great job of establishing the status quo for the DC Universe, following the death of the Justice League. And I gotta say, if this was the message that Snyder's Justice League wanted to establish with the death of Henry Cavill's Superman, then Williamson should have been the one to handle that script. Because not only does the comic showcase the loss and sorrow that all the heroes are feeling, but it also carries the weight of sheer desperation, especially when it comes to John Kent. You know, with his dad being Superman, John feels this immediate pressure of assembling a new Justice League team. But it almost came off like when you're trying to host an event, but everyone is just either busy working or they're with family or they're lying. It was pretty much that feeling, except much more on the dangerous side of things. You truly feel for John as he's trying to damn this to continue the legacy of the Justice League. But with everyone not sure on how to respond, everyone seems to be at a loss. Hell, even Black Adam. And like, real talk, Black Adam is not one to showcase his emotions. He'll never admit defeat. Yet it's here where Black Adam is shown to be defeated. The dude just witnessed the disintegration of the Justice League. That's not something you see every day. And so it's clearly affecting him. Plus, when you have villains like Deathstroke taking full advantage of the missing league, not only do things seem dire, but there's definitely this tension, especially towards the end, when Deathstroke and all the other villains are basically one giant army, laying siege on Titan's Academy. It's pretty scary stuff. When it comes to the book's art, DanielSampere does a fantastic job all throughout. The pages and the panels are big and epic and are filled with bombastic moments. Whether it's Hal Jordan swooping down into Washington, D.C., using his badass Green Lantern ring to kick butt, John visiting Yara Floor in the lush and colorful jungles of Brazil, or the solemn and quieter moments, like the Vigil scene. Everything possesses this romanticism to it, and it makes the issue feel majestic. Not comparing it to Watchmen, but the art has this nostalgic style to it, where it feels modern, yet historic in a way. In other words, it's pretty classy. Basically, from the fantastic character writing, a focused plot, and wonderful color and art, DarkCrisis issue number 1 is a must-read. In DarkCrisis, it isn't just some major DC event that's trying to make its bank, nor is it trying to be bombastic in order to make sales or the headlines. This issue was a meditation. It's a reminder on how important characters like Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, and Superman are to both the fans and the comic book writers. Essentially, whether it's 5 more Aquaman or 10 additional Wonder Girls, the originals will never be replaced, and Williamson knows that. Plus, the issue has one heck of a cliffhanger. So yeah, why not pick up issue 2? Definitely do that. DarkCrisis issue number 1 gets a sexy 9.5 out of 10. Our epic event begins with some narration from the one and only Dick Grayson, where outside the Hall of Justice, the superhero community are all present to pay their respects to the Justice League via a vigil service. And it's here where Dick is telling us about what the Justice League represents, saying that the League wasn't just some group, they were a team which included men, women, gods, and aliens, people from all over the universe. And every single one of them, from Batman to Aquaman to Green Lantern, they all shared a common purpose, to help save the world and to fight the battles that the little guy couldn't. For they weren't just heroes, they were symbols of hope and justice. But more importantly, they were a symbol of unity. Their actions and acts of service inspired not one, but several generations, paving the way for sidekicks, legacy characters, along with other teams like the Titans and Young Justice. Essentially, the universe became a brighter place to live in with the League protecting it. Yet sometimes, life will throw you a curveball, where darkness can never truly be defeated. Thus, with the death of the Justice League, the world is surely going to be a much darker place. But that doesn't mean that all hope is lost. Rather, as long as we continue to fight and defend the innocent, we will continue the Justice League's message. Because as long as we keep these candles burning, their legacy will live on. However, while all the superheroes bow their heads to show respect, off in the distance we see Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke, standing on top of a rooftop, and the look that he is giving can only spell trouble. The next day we have John Kent's Superman and Wally West's The Flash fighting off an army of goons who belong to the villainous organization known as Cobra. For Cobra have launched a full-scale attack on Washington, D.C. However, unlike before, apparently due to the dialogue between John and Wally, it seems as if the forces of Cobra are attacking in a more desperate fashion. But it's not just Cobra. Villains and villainous groups from all over the world are attacking, whether it's in space or if it's an army of vampires. It's clear that the bad guys are trying to make a push since there's no more Justice League to stop them. Now, another thing to watch out for is the fact that John, unbeknownst to him, is being targeted by someone's sniper scope. Now, it's obvious that we don't 100% know who this is, but I think it's safe to say that Williamson, he wants us to think that it's Deathstroke. Suddenly, Hal Jordan's Green Lantern swoops down onto the scene with his Green Lantern ring and is successful in taking out the bad guys. However, once Hal lands, he asks John about the League's whereabouts, basically ignoring Road to DarkCrisis. But I digress. Immediately, we switch scenes over to Black Adam, who's currently resting at the Hall of Justice's infirmary. And here he talks about his experience, the trauma he had to undergo back in Justice League issue number 75, where upon being told that a great darkness was coming for Earth, the Justice League combated the darkness and its army, and though the fight was hard, they were slowly able to clash against the villains. However, everything changed once Pariah activated his machine, and upon witnessing the death of the Justice League and the Justice League Incarnate, Black Adam, knowing that the darkness feared lightning, he called upon his power and was from there ejected, only to crash back down into Earth in the middle of the Hall of Justice. However, the last thing Black Adam remembers is seeing over and over again in his head the League being ripped apart by Pariah's powers. Now, for Black Adam, dude's seen some crazy shit over the years, but what happened in issue 75 was way too much to handle. Now, Black Adam, he's positive that the darkness has been halted, but he's sadly confident that the League is dead. But Hal Jordan doesn't care, and to Hal's credit, how can we trust this guy, meaning Black Adam, this dude who has tried to kill us so many times? Sure, I know I've been gone in space for a while, but Black Adam, he's a bad guy. This is a terrible reference. And despite both John and Wally telling Hal that Black Adam is cool, and everyone from Dr. Fate to the Adams to the DOO have already searched for the Justice League over and over again, Hal just doesn't buy it. Thus, before he takes off, he tells Wally to search for Barry, while he goes into space to find out on how the League died, whilst also able to see if this great darkness is truly dead. And with that, Green Lantern Hal Jordan takes off into the sky. However, this leaves John all by himself. But it's in this moment where John gets an idea, for he's going to rebuild the Justice League. This is what takes us to Brazil, where John has come to talk to the newest of Wonder Girls, Yara Flor. But currently she's in the process of fighting a fire demon, which is never great, especially when you're fighting in the rainforest. But fortunately, both Yara and John are able to punch the demon right in the gut, thereby ending the threat. Now from there, John tells Yara that after the whole Wonder Woman event that no one read, Diana put her information in the Justice League database, hence as to why he was able to find her. And so basically John wants Yara to join his Justice League. And again, unbeknownst to John, he is still being stalked by the same sniper from before. Now sadly, Yara sort of just laughs at John's face, telling him that we can't fill in the roles of those who have fallen because we want to. Plus, these are big shoes to fill in, and there's a lot to live up to. Plus, I just became Wonder Girl, and there's already a lot of stuff happening here that I have to deal with. So yeah, sorry dude. And that's when we switch over to New York City, where Jace Fox's Batman is currently chasing down a pair of baddies who are firing a mounted Gatling gun in the middle of the streets. So yeah, the situation is pretty bad. But fortunately, John shows up as he crashes into the truck, knocking out the bad guys in the process. But it turns out that Jace is not at all impressed. Plus, he wanted to follow the truck back to their base. So basically, John, you messed up. Nonetheless, John is still determined to recruit Jace's Batman to the Justice League, since a Justice League always needs a Batman. Sort of like how peanut butter jelly sandwiches always need some jelly. But Jace tells him no, and before heading off, he tells John to ask one of the other 15 Robins instead, because the last Batman who teamed up with heroes died. Thus, we get ourselves a montage of John asking the many heroes across the DC universe, from Swamp Thing to Harley Quinn, Blue Beetle, Peacemaker. John is asking everyone he knows. And while the people protest outside the Hall of Justice, some saying that, we need our heroes, or while others are saying that we don't want them anymore, Black Adam walks out of the infirmary only to be met with John Kent. For it's here where John debuts to Black Adam the new Justice League. And though John is excited to showcase his team, Black Adam isn't impressed. And to be fair, the guy asks some legitimate questions, like why is Harley Quinn on the team? She's a psycho. Or how come there are 2 Blue Beetles? But John tries to remind Black Adam that the world needs heroes to look up to, and they need a Justice League. But Black Adam tells him that this isn't a league, this isn't a Justice League. In all seriousness, the world needs protectors, not children. And before he flies off, Black Adam tells John that he's trying to run before he can walk. Basically, dude, you're not ready for this role, but you and I both know who is. And who is Black Adam talking about? Well, it's the one and only Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing, who currently is updating the Titans Academy program system. And he's in the middle of a lesson, the lesson involving trust. Because when you're a Titan, you gotta trust not only yourself, but also the people around you. Now while John is en route to the Titans Academy, again with the same sniper still following him, a young hero in the Academy known as Chupacabra runs into the facility as fast as she can. And she starts screaming and yelling that they were tracking her. But once Dick grabs her by the arms to see if she's okay, Dick finds a bomb strapped around her chest. And with that, the bomb explodes, causing mayhem and destroying Titans Academy. And as we go outside, we learn that this was Deathstroke's doing. For Deathstroke has assembled an entire army of supervillains. And with the Justice League dead, no one can stop him. But it also makes the Titans Academy easy prey for him to take out. And you can bet your bottom dollar he has a vendetta against them. And so with that, the villains lay siege. Now while all this is happening, it turns out that Beast Boy has been captured by Deathstroke's army. And with Garth unwilling to surrender to Slade, Slade immediately pulls a gun on him. But just when he's about to blow up Beast Boy's face, the sniper who's been following John Kent this entire time fires its gun. And sadly, we don't know who was shot, as it blacks out. Suspense. Meanwhile, over in Multiverse 2, Pariah, who's now wearing armor very similar to that of Anti-Monitor, is shown to be watching the battle that is taking place over in Titans Academy. And while he's talking to the Great Darkness in a manner that is very, very supervillainous-esque, it's revealed on his computer panel through several little TV screens that the Justice League are actually alive. And while the heroes are shown screaming, Pariah is planning to invade the main Earth, because it's there where Pariah will be able to destroy the multiverse. Ooh. And that, folks, was the end of Dark Crisis, issue number 1. And thank you guys for checking out my video, as it truly means the world to me. And as always, I am your majestic sayer of words, SuperCliff, and if you guys are new to the channel, then do me a solid by smashing that like and subscribe button. And also hit the notification bell so you'll never miss out on an upload, and so you'll always be kept up to date with your favorite top tier comics happening in the comic book world. Now tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions on this issue? Are you guys excited for Dark Crisis issue number 2? Let me know down in the comment section below. And until the next video, peace.